J Mitch. What's going on? It's your boy J Mitch. I'm up here today with my Redcat Vigilante. If you have not yet, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to your man's channel. Now, if you guys don't remember, I did take this car out a couple weeks ago, and I had a ball thrashing it, but I broke some things. But then when I was running it, I felt the car was worthy of an upgrade. So that's what we're going to do today. Today is going to be an upgrade wrenching session. I'm going to go through the parts I'm going to install. I'm going to go into the tools I'm going to do. And I'm just going to go through, tell you guys what my upgrade process looks like. So we'll see how long this takes. People been asking me, Jay, do a build series, show us what you're doing. We want to see some wrenching. I thought about going live because we're not doing a live tonight on Mother's Day. But I said, I need to do something, some good content this week for the channel. So I said, why not go for this? So shout out to my homies spending Mother's Day with their wives and their moms and their children. And, you know, hopefully you guys will support me and continue to watch this video. It's going to be a long video. I'm going to try to provide detail. It might not be live wrenching, but I might, you know, cut to install different parts and give you guys some details and some step-by-step instruction on what I'm doing. All right, so this is the Redcat Vigilante. I took it out, had a ball still dirty, but I'm gonna show y'all the parts I'm gonna put in and we go from there. So I already got the COBRA 5 ESC in the car. Here it is, here's the empty box. Here's a brand new one in the box. I don't have a home for this one yet. If anyone's looking for one, I could sell this. Let me know, I'll put a number on it. It's brand new in the box, it's still covered under warranty. I'll sell it. I'll put the number right here. I'll post the number up here right here because I know what I paid for it, and I know what I can sell it for. But if you're interested, I'm gonna post it here. Email me, DM me, Instagram, Facebook, chat, whatever. Holla at me. It's up for sale. So COBRA 5. I'm going to be running the HOBBYWING 5690 motor, 1250 kV. Gonna be running this big old 32 tooth pinion. It's 8mm bore, and it's mod 1. These are the parts I'm going to be installing. I'm going to be installing the M2C ESC plate. This ESC plate is compatible with all the ESCs. That's why all these holes in here. So we're gonna figure that out together. I really don't read directions. I might refer to some YouTube video installs at some point, but I'm just gonna go for it. We're gonna unbolt everything and bolt everything in there and go from there. This is the M2C motor mount. Now I went with M2C because I like the additional bracing they added to the motor mount versus the Vidavon. So that's why I went with M2C. Otherwise, you know me, I'm Vidavon John all day. Shout out to Vidavon. Also going to go with the battery trays for the Vigilante. This system should all work together. That's another reason why I went all M2C. I've seen a few builds with these, and the system integrates. They have this thing that lifts up the center brace of the car, so I'm interested in that. And then on my last run, I did discover that I broke my servo mount, so that should be simple enough. And then here goes my tools. Here's my handy dandy here's my handy dandy DeWalt speed driver, some pliers. Always use some grips. Hopefully I won't have to use those. Got a pick. Always nice to have a handy dandy pick when you're working on these things. Like to have my MIP tool set, right? So there you go, 3mm, 2.5 and 2mm hex set. Also have the speed tips, 2.5 and 3mm. And I have even more stuff that's not on the table. So I just kind of wanted to lay it out. Also, it's nice, look, using gloves is great, guys. Keeps your hands clean. You don't have to be scrubbing your hands after a while. And also eye protection. I doubt that anything will get in my eyes, but these things are cheap enough to get from like Harbor Freight. Keep some of these around. If you need them, use those. All right, so without any further ado, let's start wrenching. So try to get a little organized here. I hate putting dirty stuff on my bench. I need like a well, this is the workbench, but it's kind of like unofficial studio, right? I kind of use it as my studio for everything. So move everything out the way. and we'll start taking things apart here. All right, so one of the things that's probably easiest to do before you get started, especially if you're gonna be working under the hood, is take the wheels off. Right, we'll take the dang on wheels off. 24mm hexes, easy enough to do. We're not doing anything with the suspension today. I really do wish I would have cleaned this off, but we'll see. He might be good. I might be able to stay right here on this little bench thing. We'll see. Drop it on the floor. One of the things I always do is I kind of put my wheel nuts back so I don't have to look at them, but I do have my handy dandy Team Corrali mat, so I could just put my wheel nuts up there and get them out the way. So that's what we do. This pit mat is all that, guys. I freaking love it. So y'all don't know how to take off wheels, right? So I'm gonna cut it here and bring y'all back when I got these off. All right, guys, we got the wheels off. I do like the hubs are already upgraded to aluminum, and but I found one thing here. I lost a screw. Easy enough to fix though. I'll find the screw, put it in there. That's one thing. That's probably one of the last things I'll fix before I'm done. All right, so next, let us take these braces off. We'll take the braces off, and we'll take everything out the chassis, and then we'll determine where we're going to go from there. So let's start with the braces. I believe, I guess, first of all, these motor wires can come loose. That's going to be easy enough to do. The ESC is loose right now because of the last time I ran it. I think these are just 2.5s. It's a 2. I like to get all my parts, guys. I like to get all my parts on my bench and have everything kind of organized, so I don't have to keep on taking stuff off and on all the time. So I just like to have everything, you know, on deck for me to work on stuff. So take this off, and then I'll be right back with you, and I'll push back in if I have any other updates or anything I'm gonna talk to you guys about. Oh, but before I cut out, let me show y'all one thing you can do to keep track of your tools, your screws and stuff. You can like put them back where they came from after you remove the part, so it's easy enough so you don't have to guess where to go. So I guess for the purposes of this video, I'll do that with you guys, but most of the time I don't. Most of the time I kind of just know where stuff goes back to. But do it however you want to do it. Organize, keep yourself organized. The point is keep yourself organized. Take the screws you take out, put them back in the parts, or organize like this pit tray is perfect. It has like these little notches on here to keep things organized and so they can't fall off the table. Just keep yourself organized, guys. That's J. Mitch's tip of the day. Stay organized. All right, we got the braces off. And like I said, this is so much easier when you remove the bulk off the car. It just makes life easier to work and wrench on the cars. Next thing I do, let me disconnect the electronics here. Put that little clip. That's going to unplug everything. Leave my receiver in there. Receiver's cool. I mean, there's a little pin on this receiver box. Like, it's always nice to, you know, if you don't want to lose it, if you don't want to lose that little clip, just put it back in there until you're ready to put everything back together. Just put it in a nice, nice safe space for you. All my wires are here. Here's my fan. All right, definitely not going to use this fan. I might have a 5th scale fan. If not, we'll figure out a fan solution. I'm really not a big fan of fans. So we'll see if this will continue to be used, or if I even care about a fan. This was just held down by some double-sided tape, and look at that. When you got double-sided tape, look at that, all the rocks and stuff underneath that. I'll take my time before I reinstall this and clean this up, but I mean, this will just peel right off. Guys, we got the tape off the bottom. Go ahead and hold that, put that to the side, just put it out the way till we're ready to install it on our ESC plate. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this center brace off and the battery tray. Like I said, let's just take everything out the car and we start with a clean slate, sort of. And I'm trying to knock some of this dirt off too. All right, guys, so I just want to show y'all what I had to do. I had to unscrew 8 screws in the center. Then I had to take the screws out of the rear skid in order to access this rear skid. Underneath the rear skid, there are screws holding on the battery trays. So there's 2 back here and there's 1 here. So I had to remove those 3 screws to remove the battery tray. And now I think we're just about ready to work. Have everything disconnected and most of the stuff out the chassis, taking it step by step. I definitely gotta get the motor out, and I definitely have to update this servo plate, the servo mount. Now, I thought I would have to replace the whole servo mount, but all I really need to do, and I probably don't really need to do it, I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah, I have to replace these, there's only this top bracket part. I don't have to replace the whole servo mount. So I'm gonna remove this screw, because it got damaged on my run the last time. And then there's 2 screws on the side, 2mm hexes, easy enough to remove. I don't know if anybody makes an updated servo mount for this. I don't think you need one, but it's nice to have here. Easy enough. Boom, just gonna go on right there. And that's gonna be that. Let me see. Yeah, straightforward. It's the way it came off. It's gonna reverse the order, and I'll install the receiver box a little later. It's not a priority right now, but this was the easiest. This is one of the easiest things just to check off the list and get it done right quick. Next thing we're gonna do is remove this damn motor. Turn it over this way towards me. So it's gonna be a 2.5 hex. Actually, we gotta remove probably all this stuff back here anyway. So this guard takes 2. I guess it's like your gear mesh guard or whatever back here. These take 2mm screws. So it's just easier enough for me to take this stuff off now, while I still have the 2mm driver on there. It's just the gear cover. Like I said, it's just easy enough to take it off while I'm here. I don't know if you reuse that or not. That dropped on the floor. I'll find it at some point. Gear cover's off, done. Don't know if I'll be using that. I don't know if I need it for the remainder of the car, but it's there. Now, just have to remove the motor screws. And that's straightforward. Like I said, I want to get it down to a bare chassis. Oh, that's a 3mm hex. I'm like, why is that not going on there? This is 2. Here's my 2.5. That's 1. Normally there's 3 screws holding in this motor mount, but I don't know if you guys recall, because I put that larger pinion on there. Those screw that I couldn't use that 3rd screw. Motor slides right out. Not even gonna be doing anything with this. I don't think I reuse anything off of this motor. So this might find a home in another car, or it might go for sale. If anybody's looking for a stock motor and ESC from a Redcat Vigilante, hit me up. I'll put a number on the combo that I just took off. Low run time, so we'll see. Then there's just 3 screws holding in this motor mount. So I'm gonna address those now. Easy enough. Those are 2.5mm hexes. Now, if your RC is clean, it will slide right out. But if it's dirty, kind of like mine is looking right now, it will not. I probably should have told y'all, it's always easier to work on a clean RC. So I know a lot of people, this is why I don't work in the hobby shop. That's how sometimes, you know, I'll be like, Adam, hey, I'll come up and be a guest wrench, you know, guest tech for the day. But the exact thing I'm doing here with all this dirt, it really just makes the working area kind of unbearable, man. It really is really good if you can clean off your RCs as soon as you finish running them. That's probably the best time, the easiest time to clean them, rather than let them sit around and cake up and gunk up like that. All right, so anyway, to install the motor mount, you got these 3 parts here. I just want to get the motor mount in. I just want to show y'all that part. And we'll get it in. We won't install the motor, but it's ideal to put it in now while we have this thing apart. Shout out to the homie Ted. He put me onto these Venom Steel work wipes. They're like alcohol infused wipes. Really good and handy to clean up stuff. Let me clean up in this area here. Yeah, where's my little pick? Where's my little pick? Just freaking had it. All right, guess what? Don't do this. Got your little work pick. You can help get down in them crevices. I'm gonna just clean out this whole tray while everything is apart. You know, why not? Clean it out. This is like the best time. You know, clean it as you're going. Really better to clean it before you really start. I really just hate working with dirt. All right. Sand, dirt. Really don't want it anywhere near your gears. Okay. All right. She in there. She there. All right. So back to these battery trays. Just I'm gonna install the battery trays. 4 screws to hold each of them down, and I'll bring you guys right back. It's important that, again, we're doing this from the bottom of the chassis, not from the top. So, all right, guys, next steps. I put the battery trays in. I'll replace the bottom skids, and I've connected back the body mount, center body mount. So I got the battery trays in. Now I'm going to install the body mount extender that you need in order to fit the full motor mount on. So I'll just take these 2 screws off, put them to the side. This should pop up, boom. And then they gave us this nice little 3D printed brace here. I'm gonna throw that on. Yep, perfect. Then from there, put this brace on top of there, and we bolt it down. Easy. They gave us some included screws to do that. So it's nice of them. Shout out to M2C with the screw kit. These 2.5 millimeter hexes. Boom. Then we have to adjust the height of this top part of the body mount. So just gonna remove those 2 screws. Those are 2 millimeter hexes. And check. It's supposed to go on the lower position. just show y'all, look, there's three positions on this top body mount. You're supposed to drill into the lowest one. So squish that bad boy down. I don't know if that's the technical term. We want to squish it down. It's already lined up. Easy money. Replace the 2 screws. And we're good from there. All right. Now that is it for raising the body mounts. 1260. It's your 1260 kV motor. Hopefully I don't need any more surgery. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a straightforward fit. There is going to be one piece on here that I didn't talk about. Since I'm running a HOBBYWING going to a Castle ESC, there is an adapter that you need to buy from HOBBYWING to run sensor with this setup. Right now I don't have the sensor wire in this ESC, but it's nothing for me to put it back on. I'll figure out if I'm going to do that or figure out what I'm going to do next with it. We're going to run it censored, or are we going to run it uncensored? But I do have the adapter plate, so maybe for just the, maybe at the end of this video or as a follow-up, I'll talk about that. Or maybe when I come back and hooking up the electronics, I'll take some time to show that piece. But I do have the adapter to run the censored HOBBYWING motor to the censored Castle motor. They just take 2 different sensor wire setups. So we'll talk about that at the end. But for what we're doing now, we just need to get this motor installed on the motor plate. So it looks like we want this V pointed downwards. Takes 2 screws. We're gonna use a little bit of blue. We're gonna use a little blue on her. Good, gave us included screws. I think I lost one already. That's all right though. We'll figure it out. And I'm going to deviate a little bit because I'm screwing into a motor. Touch is a little bit more important here. Something people don't talk about a lot is getting the old Loctite off of your screws. These alcohol wipes are perfect for that. Already have alcohol on them. You can burn them off, or you can just use some alcohol to clean up any Loctite, especially when you're going to apply some new Loctite. You really want to get that as clean as possible. Clean most of it off, and that's good enough. Apply a little bit of blue, and then we see what she do. What she gonna do? Little blue, see what she gonna do. I think this screw might actually be a little too long. Pause. Might have to find a shorter screw. Perfect. So that's just how you want it. Once I want my motor wires hanging up, this V should be pointed downwards. And that's how you just apply that mount to that screw. Now, let's put the sort of this cush drive looking thing in, and we'll throw back on our gear protector or gear cover. Now I'm gonna be running a pretty big old gear in this bad boy. So since I know I'm gonna be running a big gear, I'm gonna definitely have to clearance. I'm gonna have to clearance this a little bit. So using my handy dandy snipper tools here, I'm gonna clearance this somewhat. Probably gonna take off more than I need to. That's fine though. And I'm gonna get a pair of pliers. Here they go. And that should snap right on up. That should give me the clearance I need. Boom. Nice clean. Let's just take a look. Hopefully that will be enough. That should be enough. We'll do a quick test fit with it and see. So I'm going with this big 32 tooth. There's probably way too much gear for just 1250, but y'all already know. I've notched my gear cover like this to kind of did like a fit just to see, you know, if I would have enough clearance for my motor. And I had to just notch my gear cover as so. So I would tell you guys, after you mount this motor in here, don't tighten your gear down all the way just yet. Put your motor inside the car, back inside the truck, and do a test fit of the gear mesh. If anything is rubbing, if your gear is rubbing up against the cover, just cut it, trim it as you need to. Like I said, I use the snipping tools here. This doesn't come with the kit, but these are handy dandy. They were like $5 off of Amazon. Little plastic cutters. Just trim your gear in around your motor, and you should be good. I'm just curious. Pinion gears, I know people say don't do it, but I'm a huge proponent of using red Loctite on my pinion gears. A lot of people don't. I do, because the worst thing you could have happen is when you're running, your pinion comes off. Red's going to guarantee that it's going to stay on there, and red is not as hard as people make it out to be to use. Avoid messing up your set screw. You know, you just want to heat it up every time you take it off. Add a little heat, and that will make it easy for your red set screw to come off. I'm just going to do this one screw for now, just to hold it in. There's 2 screws on this gear. I'm expecting this thing to be ballistic. 32 tooth gear. This thing should be a monster. So I'm gonna come back and get this second set screw, hit it with a little bit of red. Don't need a lot, just a little bit. Hit it with that red. Okay, so that motor's ready to go in. Now I'm gonna come back and do my little set screws. I mean my screws for my gear cover. These are 2mm hex screws. These actually do go into metal underneath the plastic. So a little blue will do. Let's do a little blue. I don't see why this will come off though. You probably don't need to do blue at all. But we'll just do a little dab of blue. We don't need a lot. Y'all let me know how y'all like this video. If y'all like the wrenching videos, let me know if y'all think I'm doing a good job or not. I definitely appreciate y'all feedback in the comments. But this is my process, and I might be being a little extra because I'm filming and being a little cognizant, just telling people each step I'm doing. But I want you guys to see, let me know if you want to see more wrench videos. I was actually thinking about doing this live. That would be cool. I see some people do lives where everybody's wrenching at the same time, and that's pretty cool concept, I think. I like that idea. Like I said, these screw right into metal. I saw metal down here, so that's the only reason why I'm using blue. Now, if you're not screwing into metal, you don't need the Loctite. I think it's metal. It's because it's shiny. It's a little shiny down there. So I'm just like, let me just do a little dab of blue. Don't think this is going nowhere, but we'll see. All right. Very X-Max-ish with this setup. That's even the word, X-Max-ish. And we're almost about there, guys. So I ain't gonna hold y'all. I stop and I watch the M2C video. You have to loosen these 2.5mm screws down here holding the shock tower in. And all you have to do is loosen them. You don't have to remove them. You just need to loosen them. It's very, very simple to do. Just to allow this thing to just wiggle a little bit. Got to do that. These screws come out. They actually send replacement screws for this rear shock tower. So I think that's pretty slick of them to do that. Remove this little portion here. We don't need it. We don't need that screw. So now we install this sweet little brace here that they have. This thing has some little divots that'll go right back here that will replace that metal screw. This is why I bought the M2C kit, just for that part. Like, I just thought that was so slick. So I'm just gonna put that there for now, but just so I don't forget, I am gonna tighten up the 2 screws that I just loosened up down here. This thing has a clutch on it, so I'm just taking the power out of it so I don't strip the plastic underneath. But this thing will still go up and down, and then when we put the braces back on, that's perfect. So M2C has this thing, what they call the perfect mesh system, to set your gear mesh with this motor, and I think it's pretty slick. I think it definitely adds value to the kit, and I'm going to use it for our purposes. Okay, if I don't lose every damn thing first. Now this is gonna get your mesh to right where you like it. Meters. So let me get my 3mm driver. Then I can adjust the height of my gear, of my motor. Just testing my mesh out. I can't feel it. I can hear it, but I can't feel it. See that? You want a little bit of play. I think that's just about perfect right there. So now the key is you want to get 2 screws started in on the side to hold your motor mount. Yeah, they're bigger. They're 3mm hexes. I'm going metal to metal, so I can set this on a higher setting if I need to, just to get the screw started. And we almost done, guys. We almost home free. All right. Now I'm just gonna torque everything down one more time by hand just to make sure I'm good with this motor mount. All of the torque on these screws, so these don't move. And once this is completed, right, and that's that. And this perfect mesh tool can be used again the next time you buy another M2C, piece. So I give you this little purple lanyard. You guys know how to put a lanyard on, but just in case you don't. Easy enough to do. You say so you can hang this up in your tool shed or somewhere in your toolbox. And that purple will help you always know where it is. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty slick. Now these are the remaining screws for the top of your motor mount here. One more. Easy money. Now this is why I bought the M2C kit, because this extra brace here, I just feel like it's going to add some stiffness to the motor mount. Your motor mount's not going to move around too much. If your motor mount doesn't move around too much, your brace, your gear mesh won't move around too much. You shouldn't have any problems. I think this really brings the whole extra bracing back here, really makes this truck maybe even a little bit more durable and performs a little bit better because of this center bracing. Now, unfortunately, Vidavon does not have this extra bracing piece for their motor mount. So this is exactly the reason why I went with the M2C over, you know, Vidavon. You know, I love my Vidavon shit, but this is why I got the nod, because of this piece here, and it's actually really high quality. I think Vidavon does come with like a full gear cover on the back of their mount though. But I think dirt shouldn't be an issue. If it becomes an issue, we'll figure out maybe like, we'll put maybe like a 3D printed piece of plastic around or something to shield. We'll figure out some kind of shield to put back here. Don't know what we can do there, but we'll figure out something if we start getting stuff down in there. But I think this will hold up nice for now. Now, we will install our rear bracing. I'm gonna leave the front bracing open for now, just because I need to put that ESC plate in. But it'd be nice to put this bracing in here now. And this was like a longer screw that came with the M2C kit for this rear brace. So instead of using the stock screw to put this rear brace back in for the rear screw, I'm replacing it with the upgraded screws. So now this whole rear is like shored up. We good back there. Now, I need to reinstall my receiver box, and I guess that's the easiest thing to do now. Let's put the receiver box on. I could put the receiver box on, or I could do the ESC mount. Let's just go ahead and do the ESC mount. I think the people want to see the ESC mount, right? People don't care about the receiver mount as much. They just want to see the ESC go on this bad boy. Now, here's my ESC. Already mounted my plate in the earlier step. This is going to bolt on beautifully. I was a little concerned about this, but as you can see, it's going to bolt on in place, and my ESC is going to fit beautifully. My wires are going to reach, and like all I have to do is throw my wires on here, and then I can come back with the updated sensor wire for the castle and go from there. I'll just have to determine which way I want to run my wires. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We got to do these screws. There's these little joints here, 4 of them, 2mm hex driver. We're going into metal. Gonna put a little blue on each of them. I said 2 and I picked up the 3. My 2. 2mm driver. Let's just hit them all with the blue while they're down here. Little blue, little blue, little blue. And some more blue here. All right. That's when I strip that bad boy out. Don't want to do that, especially because I'm kind of on a higher torque setting. And the worst kind of screw to strip is a small hex. Oh my God. They are like the worst ones to strip. All right, so now I got all of my screws in, my ESC is mounted. Now, ESC's mounted. I will run sensor, like I said, but now we can start talking about a little bit of wire management. It's probably easier to run it like that, but if you have enough room to run it through the shock tower, just for a little wire management, I would suggest doing that. Make sure A goes into A, especially if you're running a sensor, and bam, look at that, first problem already. I need to upgrade the, I need to either upgrade my motor ends, my bullets, or I need to run in adapters. Now I think I might have some adapters around. I will take a look when we get to that portion, but I don't think I have, off the top, I don't think I have any adapters. Let's throw our receiver box back on. I said back on. Yeah, it's like I said, gotta throw the receiver box back on. And my little pick, because I might have a little piece of three. I might have a little. No, I don't. So I be lying. I be lying, y'all. My bad. I be gaslighting y'all. My fault. And what I do with that other little screws right here. Receiver box in. There's our receiver. Got our ESC and our motor. And then I would suggest a nice piece of double-sided tape, especially if you have a gyro built into your receiver. You will want a nice piece of double-sided tape or something like that, and put this permanently down into your receiver box. Now, also, this is a good time, something called wire management. A lot of times, now if my boy Ted was here, I could tell you exactly what he would do. We would be chopping these wires up and making them as short as possible and going to like about maybe that length. We would cut all this excessive wire off and we would shorten this wire harness up for this Castle ESC to just have better wire management, less things to get hung up on and tangled up with. But Ted's not here, and John is not the guy. J Mitch, John, whatever y'all know me as, I ain't the one to do all that. Not today. This is already a long enough video, so I'm gonna just wire manage it this way. Stuff everything in this receiver box. Even some of most of the antenna just sticking out. Just wanna make sure my antenna is sticking out. And the one thing that's really nice about this Redcat receiver box is that it holds down with a single clip. So I'm gonna clip this bad boy, and wire management is done. Wire management is key though, guys. Wire management is something that we shouldn't skimp on. But I'm gonna skip on it because I'm lazy, and see, that might just mess me up because I just lost my pen. Now, the last portion of this, kind of second to the last portion of this, is reinstalling the front chassis braces here. Here's one, here's the other one. Simple, guys. Boom, look at that. It's like a perfect fit. Perfect fit. All right, guys, this is gonna conclude this long wrenching video. I'm gonna button everything up, and when I'm ready to run the car, I'll talk about the sensor setup. But there is a wire that you can buy to do the HOBBYWING, from HOBBYWING motor to Castle ESC, and there's another motor wire that you can buy that goes from the opposite way, HOBBYWING ESC to Castle motor. HOBBYWING sells them both, or you can find them on eBay. I would suggest buying both of them if you're ever going to do this. And it's simple plug and play, easy, very easy setup. I have the wire, but like I said, I'll go over that before I run the car. But this is just most of the wrenching done. I'm going to button this up, and then I'll make a run video in another week or two, because I got to do another massive unboxing video, guys. I just got a gang of stuff for new cars and things like that I want to share with you. If it was just a couple, one or two little things, hey, I would just not even worry about an unboxing video. But this is a good unboxing video. A couple RTRs and some new products that I just want to show you guys in a separate video. I think it'll be handy there. I just feel like my mouth is dry because I've been talking too much. So let me know if you like this video. Let me know what you want to see different. Let me know if you want to see more wrenching videos like this. Let me know if you guys would be interested in watching a live. Y'all want to do a wrench session with J Mitch, like on a Friday night. I'm for it. I'm up Friday nights. This is what I'm doing Friday nights. I'm wrenching. Taking my time, thinking about things, thinking about the process. This is what I'm doing. But this isn't live. This is just for me showing y'all something. So with that being said, Remember to like, comment, subscribe to your man's channel. Shout out and thank you and rest in peace to my homie, Dave Hubbard. Shout out to Big Willie. Shout out to Ted. Shout out to Adam from RC Discount. Shout out to Hector from RC Discount. Shout out to all the homies that are on the live RC stream on Sunday nights. Big Reg, Rattle Cano, Lexan, Super Dave, Doc, Big Reg, yours truly, and my homie Ted. Shout out to everybody supporting your man's channel. Thank you for y'all time and y'all attention. Y'all be good now. Peace.